Have you ever wondered why some people seem impossible to communicate with? Or why your perfectly logical explanation makes complete sense to some colleagues but leaves others completely confused? What if the problem isn't that others are idiots, but that we're all speaking different psychological languages? Thomas Erikson argues that human behavior can be categorized into four main types, each represented by a color. Dominant reds who focus on results, expressive yellows who love socializing, stable greens who value harmony, and analytical blues who crave details and accuracy. When we fail to recognize these different communication styles, frustration and misunderstanding are inevitable. But when we learn to identify and adapt to these patterns, we can transform our most challenging relationships. Surrounded by Idiots reveals how understanding these four personality types can help you communicate effectively with anyone. We're going to explore this animated book summary about decoding human behavior through the color-coded lens. Before we get into the first idea, wouldn't it be better if you had a platform specially designed for visual learners like you? That's exactly what BookWatch offers. Discover thousands of animated book summaries, just like the one you are currently watching. You can also get personalized advice. Our AI expert is trained to know each book in our library, so you can ask him how to apply every book in your unique life situation. Stay focused by taking notes effortlessly. Press the button and let BookWatch capture key ideas along with their timestamps, so you can review and expand on them later. Not sure what to read next? Just tell our AI what you want to learn or your challenges, and it'll recommend the best books tailored to your needs. Track your journey with gamified progress. Earn streaks and achievements every time you dive into a new book. Click the link in the description to access BookWatch today. If you are enjoying our free content on YouTube, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now let's continue our video. Idea 1. Diversity in human communication. Understanding that people communicate differently is a key idea in exploring human behavior. Everyone has their own way of sharing and receiving information, and those methods can be as varied as the individuals themselves. These differences in communication often come from our distinct personalities, each with unique preferences for how we express and interpret messages. Imagine walking into a room full of people. Some might be chatting away happily, jumping from one topic to another. Others might be sitting quietly, contemplating what's being said. There might be a few steering the conversation, focusing on getting points across clearly and effectively, while some might be sorting through details, caring deeply about the facts and accuracy. This variance in communication styles means that one size doesn't fit all when it comes to interactions. A message that resonates with one person might not click with another. For example, someone who loves to focus on data and specifics might not engage as deeply with a conversation that's filled with broad, abstract ideas or personal anecdotes. On the other hand, someone who's more in tune with emotions and expressions might find dry, factual discussions less engaging. It's also not just about talking. Listening is a big part of communicating. Some people are natural listeners. They take in what's being said without jumping to respond. Others might find it hard to listen without giving immediate feedback or may get impatient when the conversation doesn't get to the point quickly enough. The way we use language, body language, and even silence can send different messages depending on who's on the receiving end. Gestures that one person finds reassuring might seem intrusive to someone else. A tone of voice that seems friendly to some may be interpreted as overbearing by others. Recognizing this diversity means we can start to tailor our communication. If we know the person we're talking to prefers straightforward, clear-cut dialogue, we can cut to the chase faster. Conversely, if someone enjoys a more relaxed and narrative style, we can indulge in storytelling to make the interaction more enjoyable for them. All in all, the idea that people are diverse in their communication styles is a call for empathy and adaptability. By understanding that there's no one-size-fits-all in human interaction, we can work towards better, more effective, and more fulfilling conversations, whether in personal relationships or professional environments. Idea 2. 4 personality types. The concept of the four personality types revolves around categorizing people based on their dominant traits, which affect their communication styles, preferences, and behaviors. These types are illustrated through four colors, each possessing distinct characteristics. Red personalities are action-oriented go-getters. They love to take charge and are very goal-focused. Reds tend to be competitive and can appear aggressive or assertive. They're decisive and enjoy being leaders. When talking to Reds, being concise and getting straight to the point is key, as they value time and efficiency. Yellow personalities are the life of the party. They are sociable, expressive, and thrive on making connections with others. Yellows are often quite creative and enjoy sharing ideas and stories. They can be very persuasive and are generally optimistic. When interacting with yellows, engaging in enthusiastic and energetic conversations will appeal to them, as they prefer a friendly and animated approach. Green personalities are the peacekeepers. They're calm, caring, and value stability and harmony in their relationships. Greens are great listeners and are very supportive. They might not be comfortable with drastic changes or conflict. When communicating with Greens, it's important to be patient and show understanding, as they take their time to process information and make decisions. Blue personalities are the thinkers and planners. They are detail-oriented and analytical, with a strong focus on accuracy and logic. Blues are methodical and can appear reserved, as they prefer to think things through thoroughly before acting. They value organization and clear information. When talking with Blues, providing detailed explanations and well-thought-out plans is important, as they respond well to structured communication. Each type reflects different ways of seeing the world, and thus requires tailored approaches in conversation and interaction. The key to successful communication lies in recognizing these differences and adjusting the way one speaks and listens. By doing so, it becomes possible to connect more effectively with each personality type, fostering better relationships and... Idea 3. Red personalities. Red personalities stand out because they like to take charge. These people are bold and driven, often looking to reach their goals fast. They enjoy leading and making decisions, and they do so with confidence. When they talk, they get straight to the point, and they prefer others to do the same. They are not shy about sharing what they think and can sometimes come across as though they don't care about people's feelings, even though that might not be their intention. In the world of work, those with a red personality often end up in leadership roles because they take action and are very focused on getting results. They're not afraid of challenges and are willing to take risks if it means they could win big. But this drive to win can sometimes make them seem tough or inflexible to others. Reds value their time, and they don't like it when people beat around the bush. They want facts and clear information so they can make quick decisions. If you're working or talking with a red personality, it's a good idea to keep things brief and to the point. Dealing with conflict is something red personalities don't shy away from. They are quite competitive and will stand their ground if there's a disagreement. They're not typically the type to hold a grudge, though. Once the issue is sorted, they're ready to move on and get back to business. People with red personalities can be inspiring with their energy and determination. They often push others to improve and achieve more, which can be a powerful way to lead a team. Because of their strong presence, they often leave a mark on the people they meet. Overall, Reds are movers and shakers, always on the lookout for the next big achievement. Interpersonal skills to smooth over conflicts. This can be very effective, although sometimes their desire to avoid unpleasantness can mean they don't address deeper issues as directly as might be needed. The enthusiasm and charm of yellow personalities can be a real asset in many situations. With their sunny disposition, they can inspire and bring lightness, but they might need a little help when it... Idea 4. Yellow personalities. Yellow personalities are often seen as the life of the party. They're happy, energetic people who love to chat and make friends wherever they go. They have a natural talent for telling stories and can easily captivate an audience with their enthusiasm. You'll often find yellow personalities surrounded by others, as they enjoy socializing and are usually very good at it. These individuals are also quite creative. They come up with lots of ideas and have an optimistic outlook on life. They see opportunities where others might see problems, It's this positive attitude that draws people to them. However, this constant flow of ideas means they might not always be great at following through on all of them. They can get excited about a new project, only to lose interest and move on to the next shiny thing pretty quickly. Yellows tend to be very open with their feelings. They don't hold back, and you usually know where you stand with them. Along with their expressive nature, though, comes a dislike for routine and detail. They often prefer the big picture and can find getting bogged down in specifics somewhat boring. This might lead them to overlook important details or become impatient with tasks that require a lot of attention to minutiae. In the workplace, yellows are great team players and natural motivators. They can encourage their colleagues and bring a sense of fun to the work environment. However, they might need someone else to help them stay on track and to handle tasks that require a lot of detail or follow-through. When it comes to handling tough situations, yellows prefer to do so with diplomacy. They rely on their interpersonal skills to smooth over conflicts. This can be very effective, although sometimes their desire to avoid unpleasantness can mean they don't address deeper issues as directly as might be needed. The enthusiasm and charm of yellow personalities can be a real asset in many situations. With their sunny disposition, they can inspire and bring lightness, but they might need a little help when it comes to sticking to plans and dealing with the finer points of projects. Their approach to life is to enjoy it and make as many connections as possible, always believing that tomorrow will be even better than today. Idea 5. Green personalities. Green personalities in the context of the book are all about harmony and stability. People who fit into this personality group are typically calm, patient, and genuinely caring. They value strong, long-term relationships and are often the ones others turn to for support or when in need of a sympathetic ear. Greens tend to avoid conflict and confrontations, doing their best to maintain peace within the group. They're not ones to seek out the spotlight, and they'll often go out of their way to help others feel included and heard. Making sure everyone is getting along is important to them. In a workplace setting, green personalities are reliable and consistent. They might not be the fastest when it comes to sudden changes or high-pressure situations, but they make up for this with their thorough, methodical approach to their tasks. They take pride in the quality of their work and won't rush just to meet a deadline, preferring to do things right. Their way of communicating reflects their personality, warm, friendly, and approachable. However, because they are so conflict-averse, Greens might not speak up about their own opinions or needs if they think it will cause trouble or upset the status quo. This can sometimes make it difficult for them to enforce boundaries. On the flip side, their dislike of conflict means they might not always handle criticism or pressure well. It's not that they can't take feedback. It's just that they prefer it delivered in a kind, constructive way that doesn't come off as aggressive or confrontational. In a team environment, they are the glue that holds people together, fostering a cooperative spirit. Their diplomacy and listening skills are assets when it comes to teamwork and collaboration. Moreover, in leadership roles, they often lead by example, creating an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. People with green personalities add a sense of calm and stability to any group they are part of. Their presence has a balancing effect, especially in situations that might otherwise be tense or chaotic. The caring, patient, and supportive nature of Greens makes them a valuable part of any social or work setting. Idea 6. Blue personalities. Blue personalities are the analytical thinkers of the group. They love details and take a systematic approach to everything they do. If you're dealing with someone who's a blue, they'll be the ones who really value accuracy and efficiency in their work or life. They are very logical and often won't make big decisions without a lot of facts and data to back them up. For them, it's all about the quality of information, not just a hunch or feeling. When it comes to talking with a blue, they prefer structured communication. This means they like well-thought-out arguments and can be quite critical if they spot inconsistencies or errors. They're not as fast-paced as some of the other personalities. They take their time to process information and come to a conclusion. In a work setting, people with blue personalities are the ones who make sure everything is done right. They'll check and double-check their work and they want to understand exactly how things work. They're not the type to take shortcuts, and they might sometimes seem a bit cautious or reserved, especially in new or unclear situations. With emotions, blues are more reserved. They won't typically wear their hearts on their sleeves. They might seem a little distant or hard to read because they don't express their feelings as openly. It's not that they don't have feelings, they just don't show them as much as others might. If you're trying to get along with a blue, remember they value trust and honesty. They also have a deep need for order and system. If you throw a lot of chaos or unplanned changes at them, they might not respond very well. They like predictability and schedules. Blues are the type of people who are excellent at research or any task that requires attention to detail. They're reliable and can be counted on to be thorough. But because of their need for perfection, they can sometimes get bogged down in the details and take longer to complete tasks. They also might struggle with decision-making, not because they can't make a choice, but because they want to be sure it's the right one. They ask questions, lots of questions, because they genuinely want to understand. Overall, blues are the part of the team that makes sure everything is accurate and up to standard. They won't be rushed, and they won't settle for less than what they believe is correct. They might not be the life of the party, but they're essential for making sure things are done properly and effectively. Idea 7. Strengths and weaknesses of colors. The book delves into the strengths and weaknesses associated with each personality color, which are key to understanding how different people operate. Reds, for instance, are confident and decisive, making them natural leaders who can take the helm during a crisis. However, their directness might come across as insensitivity, and they can sometimes ignore others' feelings. Yellows are spirited and creative, the life of the party who can inspire and motivate their peers. They're effective communicators, able to talk their way through most situations. But this same trait can be a downfall when they become too chatty or overlook details in their enthusiasm. Greens are the reliable and cooperative team players who bring stability and support. They excel in providing a listening ear and work well in roles that require patience and care. On the flip side, their desire for harmony can lead them to avoid necessary confrontations, and they might struggle with change or fast-paced environments. Blues are meticulous and data-driven, consistently delivering high-quality work with precision. Their analytical skills are unmatched, which is ideal for roles requiring accuracy. However, blues can be overly critical, focusing too much on imperfections, leading to paralysis by analysis. Their quest for perfection can also make them seem cold or detached in more social scenarios. Understanding these traits helps us recognize why people may react differently in similar situations. Reds might jump to action without enough discussion. Yellows might start brainstorming when focus is needed. Greens might hesitate to push back when they should assert themselves. And blues might get bogged down in the details when a quicker decision is needed. Each color brings a unique set of skills to the table, but also has blind spots that, without awareness and adjustment, can lead to misunderstandings and frustrations in social interactions and workplace dynamics. Idea 8. Communication conflicts. Communication conflicts often start because we don't understand where the other person is coming from. Each personality type, represented by a color, has a different way of seeing things and sending messages. Imagine you're a red type, focused on getting things done fast. You might get straight to the point, with no time for small talk. Now, if you're talking to a green type, someone who values a calm, friendly chat, they might feel rushed or even ignored. It's like speaking different languages. Yellows might throw a joke into serious talks, which can rub blues the wrong way, since blues want facts and details. Misunderstandings can pop up when yellows see blues as too picky or slow, and blues see yellows as not serious enough. When reds clash with anyone not moving at their speed or responding with their level of urgency, it's often because reds are all about action and results. If they're talking to greens or blues, who need more time to process or talk things through, frustration can build up on both sides. The key to reducing conflict is to understand that these colors show different priorities and fears. Reds fear being taken advantage of. Yellows fear rejection. Greens fear change and conflict, and blues fear criticism. When we know this, we can start to see why someone reacts a certain way. Instead of fighting these differences, if we try to match our style to the other person's, even a little, we can build better bridges. So, a red might try to slow down for a green, showing they care. A yellow might give a blue more details, and a blue might try to be less critical with a yellow. By seeing the world a bit more like the other person, we can stop many misunderstandings before they turn into bigger conflicts. Idea 9. Adapting communication strategies. To adapt communication strategies to different personality types, it's essential to first understand each person's style. Picture the color-coded system. Someone who shows characteristics of the red personality is typically bold and to the point. When talking to this type, you'll want to be clear, concise, and stick to the facts. They tend to look for the bottom line and might not have much patience for extensive explanations or emotional details. On the other hand, for individuals with more of a yellow personality, who are often bubbly and sociable, you'd use a different tactic. They enjoy conversation, stories, and expressive language. Engaging them with enthusiasm and emphasizing the positive social aspects of a situation would be more effective. People who display green traits, those who are calm and caring, will appreciate a softer, more supportive approach.
They value harmony, so ensuring that your communication style is agreeable and doesn't instigate conflict will help them open up. Additionally, showing genuine concern for their feelings and well-being will build trust. When you're interacting with a blue personality, precision matters. They like details, structure, and order. Your best bet when communicating with them is to be thorough, present information in a systematic way, and be prepared to answer questions about specifics. They may take longer to process information because they aim for understanding and accuracy. Shifting your communication style to align with these preferences isn't about changing who you are. It's about respecting the diverse ways people perceive and interact with the world. It's like speaking a language that each person understands best. By doing this, you're more likely to be understood and to understand others, making interactions smoother and more productive. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it, tailoring your message in a way that makes the other person feel heard and acknowledged. This skill, once developed, can greatly improve both personal and workplace relationships.
Idea 10. Self-awareness and understanding. Being aware of oneself is key to deciphering the puzzle of human interactions. This idea hinges on the fact that before you can effectively comprehend and engage with the people around you, it's crucial to have a good grasp of who you are, how you think, and why you behave in certain ways. Self-awareness isn't just about identifying your strengths and weaknesses, but also about recognizing your emotions, triggers, and patterns in communication. Once you have a solid understanding of yourself, it becomes much easier to see why you might clash with someone who approaches life and work very differently. For example, if you are someone who pays close attention to details and prefers to work methodically, you might find it frustrating when someone else rushes through tasks without a second thought. However, if you know that this is part of your nature, you can approach these situations with more patience and an open mind. Recognizing your own personality type contributes to smoother interactions with others. By being self-aware, you can adapt your communication style to better connect with individuals who have different preferences and temperaments. It also allows you to predict potential conflicts before they arise and to navigate them more effectively when they do. Moreover, understanding yourself sets the stage for personal growth. It paves the way for developing skills that might not come naturally to you, but are essential for working and living harmoniously with a wide array of personalities. When you understand where you're coming from, your tolerance for different behaviors increases, and your ability to work alongside others, no matter how different they may seem, is enhanced. In personal relationships, this understanding helps maintain balance. Knowing what you need to feel heard, supported, and fulfilled allows you to communicate these needs more clearly. Plus, when you understand your tendencies, you're less likely to feel misunderstood because you can explain your viewpoint in a way that makes sense to someone who thinks and feels differently. Diving into self-awareness is like unlocking a door that leads to more effective and enriching interactions. It undoubtedly requires effort and sometimes a bit of discomfort as you confront aspects of yourself that you might prefer to avoid. However, it's an essential step towards understanding the people around you, who often seem puzzling in their actions and reactions. Armed with self-knowledge, you're better equipped to appreciate the diverse tapestry of human personalities and to interact with them in a way that brings out the best in everyone involved. Idea 11. Building effective teams. Building effective teams involves bringing together people with diverse strengths and perspectives. In a well-rounded team, you would have members who represent all the different personality colors. Each color contributes differently. Reds, for instance, are great at driving the team forward and taking charge of tough decisions. They're your go-to for motivation and setting the pace, always pushing the team to achieve set goals. Their leadership is often decisive, and they're comfortable confronting issues head-on. Yellows, on the other hand, are the social butterflies of the group. They excel in creating a positive atmosphere and are good at networking and building relationships both within and outside the team. They keep everyone's spirits high and are usually inventive, always bringing new ideas to the table. Greens provide a sense of calm and stability to any team. They are the ones who ensure everyone gets along and who strive for harmony. If there's tension or conflict, a green will likely be the peacemaker. They're also dependable, often the ones who will lend an ear and support their teammates. Blues bring a critical eye to the team. They focus on data, details, and processes. They ensure that every idea is feasible and that the team doesn't rush into decisions without proper planning or understanding of potential pitfalls. Blues are very systematic in their approach and contribute to maintaining high standards. When these colors work together, they balance each other out, making sure the team is decisive yet thoughtful, sociable but focused, goal-oriented while remaining cohesive. Each color addresses gaps the others might leave, ensuring thoroughness in work. Therefore, in creating an effective team, it's essential to have a mix of these personalities. Recognizing the natural strengths and weaknesses each brings to the table enables better task delegation, improves mutual respect, and enhances overall team performance. It's about valuing the different qualities each person contributes and harnessing the collective mix of skills for the success of the team and the projects they are. Idea 12. Flexing communication style. The idea of flexing communication style is like being a communication chameleon. It's all about changing the way you talk and interact with others based on who you're dealing with. Imagine you're speaking with someone who loves details and wants all the facts. If you're more of a big picture person, you'd need to shift your style and give them the specifics they need. That's flexing. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about respect. You're showing the other person that you value their way of seeing the world and that you want to make the conversation work for both of you. It's like speaking the same language, or at least trying to. If you only speak your own language, you might not get far with someone who speaks another. So, if you've got a friend who is all about action and getting things done, and you're more of a laid-back person, flexing your style might mean you get straight to the point when you're talking with them. Or if you're dealing with someone who needs time to think things over and values peace and quiet, even if you're normally loud and fast, you might slow down, lower your voice, and give them space to process. Flexing is a skill, and like any skill, it gets better the more you practice it. It can help avoid misunderstandings, and it can make work and personal relationships smoother. The goal is to connect better with people by meeting them where they are, not where you want them to be. It's about making sure everyone's on the same page, and that can make all the difference when you're trying to work together or even just have a good chat. Remember, though, that flexing your communication style is not just about how you talk, it's also about how you listen. It's paying attention to the other person's cues and responding in a way that fits the vibe they're giving off. If they're excited, you might match their enthusiasm. If they're concerned about something, you show empathy and concern as well. Overall, flexing your communication style is about making the effort to reach out to people in the way they find most comfortable. It's a powerful tool that can help make your interactions with others more effective and enjoyable. Idea 14. Extroversion and introversion. The idea of extroversion and introversion in Surrounded by Idiots is based on the way different personality types gain and spend their energy when interacting with others. Extroverted types, like the red and yellow personalities, get their energy from being around people. They enjoy engaging with others, are often very talkative, and like to be where the action is. On the other hand, the green and blue personalities are more introverted. They find social interactions can sometimes drain their energy, especially if they are long or with large groups of people. They often need quiet time alone to recharge after being in social settings. Reds, being extroverted, are usually quite bold and confident in expressing their thoughts and often take charge in group settings. They might come across as demanding because they focus on getting things done and agility would. Good leaders learn to appreciate these differences and use them to the team's advantage. They know how to encourage a red personality to be patient and to listen, how to help a yellow personality stay on track with their tasks, and are usually seen as charming and friendly. Greens, comfortable being introverted, are more reserved and prefer to avoid conflict, valuing harmony in their relationships. They are caring and patient, happy to listen to others and provide support. Greens are the ones who keep the peace and make sure everyone feels included. Blues also prefer a more introverted way of being. They like to step back and analyze things before jumping in. They value order and precision and can get very focused on the details of their work or projects. Blues usually prefer communicating in a clear, direct way and might take some time to open up in social situations. Both extroverts and introverts have their own ways of dealing with the world around them, and these differences can shape how they communicate, work, and interact with others. Recognizing whether someone is more extroverted or introverted can help in understanding how to communicate with them effectively. Each member's communication style and motivational needs. By harnessing the strengths of each personality type, leaders can build teams that are greater than the sum of their parts, achieving high levels of performance and satisfaction. So, the relationship between leadership and personality dynamics is crucial, and leaders who master this skill set themselves and their teams up for success. Idea 14. Extroversion and introversion. The idea of extroversion and introversion in Surrounded by Idiots is based on the way different personality types gain and spend their energy when interacting with others. Extroverted types, like the red and yellow personalities, get their energy from being around people. They enjoy engaging with others, are often very talkative, and like to be where the action is. On the other hand, the green and blue personalities are more introverted. They find social interactions can sometimes drain their energy, especially if they are long or with large groups of people. They often need quiet time alone to recharge after being in social settings. Reds, being extroverted, are usually quite bold and confident in expressing their thoughts and often take charge in group settings. They might come across as demanding because they focus on getting things done and achieving their goals. Yellows share this thirst for interaction, but in a different way. They are bubbly and enthusiastic, often sparking life into conversations and social gatherings. They love to inspire and motivate others and are usually seen as charming and friendly. Greens, comfortable being introverted, are more reserved and prefer to avoid conflict, valuing harmony in their relationships. They are caring and patient, happy to listen to others and provide support. Greens are the ones who keep the peace and make sure everyone feels included. Blues also prefer a more introverted way of being. They like to step back and analyze things before jumping in. They value order and precision and can get very focused on the details of their work or projects. Blues usually prefer communicating in a clear, direct way and might take some time to open up in social situations. Both extroverts and introverts have their own ways of dealing with the world around them, and these differences can shape how they communicate, work, and interact with others. Recognizing whether someone is more extroverted or introverted can help in understanding how to communicate with them effectively. Idea 15, judgment and cooperation. When people work together, they bring different viewpoints and ways of doing things, which is both a strength and a potential source of tension. One idea explored is how being judgmental towards others' personalities can create barriers to effective cooperation. Everyone has a unique set of traits influenced by their personality type. If someone doesn't understand why another person behaves in a certain way, they might be quick to judge them based on their actions or decisions. For example, a very detail-oriented person might get frustrated with someone who seems to overlook the specifics and focus on the big picture. If they judge the other person as careless or lazy, they're not considering that this person might simply value different aspects of the work or might have a more spontaneous, flexible approach. This judgment creates a barrier because it stops people from trying to understand where the other is coming from and prevents them from working effectively together. On the other hand, if people are open and try to understand that each personality type has different strengths and approaches, they can start to appreciate what each person brings to the table. They learn that a diverse team can be stronger because everyone contributes something valuable. When team members stop judging and start looking for the positive aspects of each type, they begin to cooperate more effectively. They can delegate tasks according to who will do them best. They communicate in a way that everyone understands, and they create a friendlier work environment where people feel respected and valued. Dealing with judgments and finding ways to cooperate better is something all sorts of groups can benefit from, not just in work settings, but in personal relationships as well. By recognizing the traps of being too quick to judge and the benefits of embracing diverse ways of thinking and doing, people can work together more harmoniously and productively. Idea 16. Tailored feedback. When it comes to offering feedback, the approach you take can greatly influence how well the feedback is received and how effective it is. Each personality type reacts to feedback in unique ways, and tailoring your feedback accordingly can lead to better outcomes. For example, red personality types value clear and direct communication. They like to get to the point quickly. When offering feedback to a red, it might be best to be straightforward and concise. This type respects strength and decisiveness, so being assertive but not aggressive can work well. In contrast, yellow personalities enjoy positive interaction and often respond well to feedback that is delivered in an enthusiastic and uplifting manner. They might struggle with criticism if it's not balanced with praise. If you're providing feedback to a yellow, it helps to highlight what they're doing right, then frame your suggestions for improvement in an optimistic way. Green personalities are more sensitive and value harmony. With greens, it's crucial to give feedback in a gentle, supportive way. They may take criticism personally, so it's important to reassure them and focus on solutions that maintain good relationships and team cohesion. Blue personalities appreciate accuracy and thoroughness. When you have feedback for a blue, they expect detailed explanations and may want to see evidence or examples. It's important to be precise and factual with blues. They're less interested in the emotional aspects and more focused on the logic and reasoning behind your feedback. Tailoring feedback isn't about manipulation or coddling. It's about communicating in a way that respects individual preferences and yields the best possible performance improvements. By considering the personality color of the person you're speaking with, you can make the process of giving and receiving feedback more constructive and less confrontational. Idea 17. Clashing colors. When people with different personality types, or colors, come together, they can sometimes find it tough to get along. This happens because the colors represent traits that can be at odds with each other. For example, imagine someone who likes to be super precise and pays attention to every little detail. In the color world, we'd call them a blue. Now, let's say they have to work with someone who is all about acting fast and taking charge, which we would label as a red. When reds and blues try to work together, it can create friction. The reds might think the blues are taking forever to make decisions because they're too busy analyzing everything. Meanwhile, the blues might see the reds as impulsive and a little too keen on jumping into action without thinking things through. Both have their own way of doing things, and they each think their way is the best. Things can get just as tricky with other colors too. Let's take the social, fun-loving yellows who enjoy talking things out and being creative. They might clash with the quiet, harmony-seeking greens who prefer a calm, predictable environment and might feel overwhelmed by the yellow's energy and constant need for interaction. These disagreements or misunderstandings happen because each color has a unique way of seeing the world and handling situations. The key to dealing with this kind of clash is to recognize and appreciate that others might have a completely different approach. It's not about changing who you are or asking others to change. It's about understanding that people have different needs and preferences. It helps a lot when people can step out of their shoes for a moment and try to see the world from the other person's viewpoint. One approach could be for reds to slow down a bit, allowing blues the time they need to process information. Similarly, blues might work on being more decisive to keep up with the reds' pace. Yellows can try to give greens some space and quiet when needed, and greens can make an effort to join in more with the yellows' social activities. At the end of the day, the idea is to find a balance so that these colorful personalities don't just avoid stepping on each other's toes, but actually learn to dance together. It's about making the most of each other's strong points and finding ways to work together without letting these differences get in the way. Idea 18. Time management and work approaches. Different personality colors in Surrounded by Idiots approach time management and work in unique ways, and recognizing these differences is key to effective collaboration. Red personalities typically prioritize efficiency and getting results quickly. They're often seen cutting straight to the point and making fast decisions, not wanting to waste time on lengthy discussions. On the other hand, yellow personalities approach their work with enthusiasm and a need for variety, which can sometimes lead to struggles with focusing on one task for too long. They might jump from one project to another, preferring a more flexible schedule that allows them to interact with others and share ideas. Green personalities, in contrast, take a more relaxed and methodical approach to their tasks. They value stability and can be quite thorough, often preferring to work at a steady pace without much disruption. They're not typically the ones who rush through their tasks. Instead, they need time to process and think things through. Blue personalities are all about details and accuracy. They plan carefully and don't like to be rushed, as they need time to analyze information and ensure everything is done correctly. It's not uncommon for them to be the ones with lists and schedules, meticulously mapping out their work to avoid any errors. By understanding these work styles, individuals can better plan and coordinate with others on a team. Knowing who prefers to dive right in versus who requires more contemplation helps when assigning tasks and setting deadlines. It's also useful for individual self-awareness, as recognizing one's own approach to time management can lead to personal improvements and more effective contributions to group efforts. Idea 19. Predicting emotional responses. Different personality types react differently to emotional situations because of their distinct perspectives and priorities. People who have red traits tend to show a bold response to emotional stimuli. They may quickly become passionate or frustrated, showing a strong reaction that aligns with their desire to lead and take charge. On the other side, those with yellow traits typically display enthusiastic and optimistic emotions. They enjoy excitement and are quick to express joy and happiness. Their reactions are often contagious, as they easily share their positive energy with others. Meanwhile, individuals with green traits often have a calm and composed emotional response. They try to avoid conflict and are good at maintaining peace. When faced with emotional situations, they are supportive and reassuring, looking to provide comfort. Lastly, people with blue traits approach emotions with caution and thoughtfulness. They take their time to process their feelings and are less likely to show an immediate reaction. They prefer facts over feelings, so their responses are more measured and reserved. Understanding these tendencies can help in predicting how someone might react emotionally and in tailoring one's approach to gain the most positive interaction outcome. It can aid in providing the right kind of support or feedback depending on someone's personality type. Idea 20. Improving relationships through communication. Improving relationships through communication is a key theme. It's based on the idea that if we learn how others think and what they value, we can get along better with them. The book uses 4 colors to describe personality types, and each type communicates in its own way. For example, some people are more direct. They want to get to the point fast and can seem bossy. Others are more about having fun and sharing stories, but they might not always follow through on tasks. Then there are those who don't like conflict and value getting along, so they won't speak up, even if they're unhappy. Lastly, some people focus on the details and want everything to be perfect, but they might come across as too critical or slow to take action. When we talk to someone, knowing their type can help. If you're dealing with someone who is direct and task-focused, it's good to stick to the facts and be clear about what you want. For the fun-loving type, showing interest in them and being upbeat can make the conversation go well. With the peace-seeking type, being gentle and supportive is key. And for the detail-focused person, showing that you've thought things through and that you respect their need for accuracy can win them over. The point is not to change who we are, but to adjust how we communicate. It's like speaking the right language for the person you're talking to. That way, they'll feel understood and are more likely to respond well. It makes work and personal life smoother because it can stop misunderstandings before they start. Good communication also means listening, not just talking. Each type wants to be heard in their own way. The direct person wants to know you've got the message fast. The outgoing person wants to see you're enjoying the conversation. The peace seeker needs to feel safe, and the detail-focused person wants to know you're paying attention to what they're saying. By becoming better at how to talk and listen to different types of people, relationships can get stronger and more enjoyable. It can help at work, with friends, and at home. Everyone wants to feel like they're heard and understood, and that's what the book is all about, learning to do just that.